It's like the bulbs are shining. It's not the light coming from the bulb, because behind the bulb there is electricity. We all know the electromotive force or electrons and positive and negative energy that makes the light glow. Same thing, the body is like a bulb. That electricity has to come from the astral body prana, and that comes to nadis, physical as well as astral. And there are major nadis of 72,000 nadis. Chinese call it meridians. And they use various needles and pins on the meridians to increase the pranic flow or reduce or shortcut the pranic flow. So there is a system, an energy system in your body that's called prana. And you have to recharge this particular system, just like you feed your body with the chemical substance like carbohydrates, fat, protein, minerals, and vitamins. These are the chemical things. Body absorbs to a certain amount of prana from these material things, from the food, water, air, and the sunlight. But that is mostly the chemical nature. But even the chemical food contains prana. The dead food, like in the meat, chicken, etc., they're dead. There's very little prana. But in life, the plants, like that, the shining of this beautiful plant, you can see how beautiful that flower shines. That's radiation of the prana. And you just give to a person, a sick person, or a loved one, a flower. So one simple flower, rose, a real flower, it changes the vibratory level because there's tremendous prana, and the prana of the body also will change according to the nature of the prana, life force coming from that. That's why we give flowers to a sick person, or on a birthdays, etc., anniversaries, we bring flowers. Suppose you bring flower, so ordinary flower, you brought a plastic flower. Your husband gave you plastic flower during the birthday. Have you given plastic flower in a birthday? He only gives real flower, is it not? Huh? No? Well, when he was, he gave real then. Real, right. So anyhow, flower comes, at that time you are happy. But a plastic flower you give, you are not happy, because there is no prana, dead. Same thing, food also, the live food, like vegetables, that's the only source of prana for us, plus air we breathe, and little from the sunlight. So this electric force coming, electrical energy coming from the material things, and especially by breathing. That's why yogis concentrate on the breathing exercise. So your body contains two types of energy. We call it static energy and kinetic energy, or the energy we call it in a suspended state or in an active state or dynamic state. A simple example is this water is made up of hydrogen, oxygen, H2O. So also ice. And the ice is very static. Its motion, its energy is very limited because it's condensed. Its atoms are not vibrating. But when it comes to the water state, if you bring that water from a river to a dam and convert it into a small area and divert it to a small area and bring it, it can turn huge turbines and generates electricity. We know that. So in the ice state, it cannot do. So the water is subtler than the ice. That's called the energy in a dynamic state. But still, it's not completely dynamic. When you convert that into steam, then it has got more power than the water in liquid state. So you can see steam engines and all other things run by the steam. And still the steam itself is not still fully dynamic state unless it has been converted into the original state, hydrogen, oxygen. And in the hydrogen, very powerful explosion takes place, and oxygen burns the fire more brilliantly and powerfully. and still it is not powerful enough unless it still changes in original state, the purest form of wave. That's called atomic theory. That hydrogen atom is destroyed or brought together, it become either you call it nuclear reaction, and at that time you create nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb. Sometimes you combine the matter. At that time you call it the energy release is powerful. So also when you break an atom, we all know, you create tremendous energy. And this piece of metal is gross, static, but still it's vibrating. Ask any scientist, it moves. But the motion is very limited. We can't see it. For us, perception, it is solid. So solid, liquid, etc. is only our perception, but it's all vibrating. But our vibration in a very low state, you call solid. But when you convert that solid into, don't worry about that, just leave him alone. If you try to create more problems. Later on, you trap him. Okay. The energy, when it's been converted into real dynamic state, that mass contains enough energy to blow up the whole New York. By using the formula E equal to mc squared, energy is mass. Mass is nothing but energy, but when it's multiplied by the speed of light and multiplied by itself, using that formula, this piece of matter contains enough energy to blow up a huge city, vaporize everything. So in a static state, it has got no power, but in the kinetic state, it's more powerful. Same thing with us also. The prana exists. First of all, the two types of prana energy: chemical energy, like a car. Car contains a combustion chamber, and that petrol gasoline is converted into energy so that the motor will start functioning, and that energy is applied on the wheels to the gears, so the car moves. We all know that. That's called chemical nature. But also there's the electrical energy, a battery, which also is used to start the car, where the motor turns so that dynamo can be recharged. Dynamo can be used to start the engine, and then light, heat, electric, radio, tape recorder, many electrical gadgets are there in your car. They are not chemical, they are all electrical in nature. And so the two types of energy in a car, chemical as well as electrical. And the chemical combustion is depending upon the electricity which comes to spark plugs and then gives the energy enough to burn that gasoline. We all know that simple technique. It's like this lamp is burning because of combustion. So although our muscles are actually chemical in its nature, motion. And so there is sugar in our system, what you call glucose. When you eat starch, like a bread, etc., it's been converted into glucose, means easily soluble water material. Carbohydrates made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, we all know. When you put that piece of bread in the water, it doesn't dissolve. But you put sugar dissolves. Sugar also carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But the starch is also carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But it's not dissolved because it is not made into smaller water-soluble molecules. That's called digestion. So when you chew that bread, your saliva converts into water-soluble molecules. You call it glucose, and it goes again further in the stomach. Again, is converted into water-soluble sugar. Is stored up in the liver, and then liver sends that sugar into the glucose into the bloodstream. So there is a balance between the blood sugar and the liver sugar. And whenever blood sugar is depleted by using the muscles, as we do in combustion, that's what oxygen, inhaled oxygen is coming through the lungs and is brought, and the muscle uses the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and then the energy is used to move my muscles, just like a piston or an engine in your car.